Welcome back, everybody. We're talking with Melinda Barrett right now, who's making her first run for the Haverhill City Council. Welcome to the program, Melinda.
Thank you, Frank.
This is great. You know, this is your first time running. The Barrett family has been a long-time hallmark in the city of Haverhill with your businesses downtown, and you have a business in downtown Haverhill as well. And can you tell us, what are some of the compelling factors that have caused you to run for Haverhill City Council this time?
Well, it's one of those things that I always thought of doing. It just never was the right moment. When we had the men's store, it was a little too controversial to be on a board such as the city council. He wanted to just stay neutral at all costs. With my business now that I've had for 18 years downtown, I don't think it's quite as big a factor as far as a hindrance to being on the board. And I just want to be on a voice for a better Haverhill. Improve the community. We have so much work we've done, but we have so much work to do.
What are some of the things that you think the city of Haverhill has yet to do to become an even better community?
Well, I think we have to improve the economic development push in the city. We're underjobbed in manufacturing. We don't have a vibrant downtown as far as business office space. We need to address some of those issues in the city.
You know, from a person that happens to be in business, in the retail business, right in downtown Haverhill, can you tell us over the years how the sales tax, as being from 5% to like 6.25%, how that really impacts a business such as yourself?
Well, I'm considered a restaurant, so in this phase, it's a factor, but not as big as it would be if it were a retailer.
Okay.
Obviously, there are no real retail operations downtown of any size or scope, so it has an impact. Not much the city council can do about that since that's a state mandated tax, but we can voice our displeasure.
So the type of businesses that you're talking about being able to invite to come in to go ahead and expand, more so of a service or manufacturing style?
More of a manufacturing,
okay.
Emerging businesses, biotech, whatever happens to be out there. We need jobs with sustainable wages. A burger joint, while good, might not provide sustainable wages that people can live on.
Yeah, it's very interesting when people take into account that, I guess based upon a minimum wage nationally, there is nowhere, anywhere in the country, let alone the state of the city, that somebody could go ahead and rent an apartment or sustain themselves based upon what the minimum wage happens to be right now. So
it's a problem. You know, you pursue these littler things where you can go for something more.
When you take a look at what some of the votes are that the City Council has been involved in previously that you may be familiar with, are there any suggestions that you might have done differently from what members of the City Council have done in their recent history? Well, just having to do with any particular factor. I know that, well, here's one factor that let's talk about this. Let's talk about the cost of living adjustment that the mayor has suggested that the council, that he would like to veto. That is not in favor of, whereas the retirement board has suggested and voted in favor of that, and that is before the council right now. You know, the question is, what is your take on that type of matter? Because the mayor suggests that that'll have a long-term financial negative impact down the road, but conversely, the other take is that these are retired municipal employees that deserve some consideration as well. So how do you handle that?
My inclination, now I've talked to some voters that come on both sides of this, and my inclination at first would have been to give the raise. I mean, you made a promise to these people to give them a pension. I would hope we could maintain them in a living standard of something close to the poverty level.
Right.
But the factor with the city debt, it makes you think, well, maybe we could do something halfway. I know the numbers.
As a compromise?
Yeah, a compromise. I know the numbers are disputed between the mayor and the board on the impact, the long-term impact. So perhaps there's a middle ground there that we could reach.
Are there any other factors that you happen to see in your vision for the city of Haverhill when you say so many more things can be done. Many things have been done, but more things can be done. Among the things that you see that can be done, what are some of the items that you have among them?
Utilize the river, which I know there are talks of changes, major changes afoot, but utilize that span that we have. It's a beautiful river. Let's try to take advantage of it for tourism, for businesses, for development of other types. We need maybe to promote and streamline areas in the community to let businesses plant their plant here, go into Cambridge, like the Burger Center, have them grow out into the industrial parks rather than leave Haverhill completely as they grow.
So just to recruit them and provide, maybe even if it means perhaps establishing an additional industrial park, perhaps?
Right, although I think we have room in our 3 industrial parks, Hilldale, yeah, that we can at least start there and maybe get some more things going in other areas of the city.
You know, that's great. When you take a look at the economics, and you're talking about the long-term economics, there's been, a sort of malaise that we're coming out of the recessionary period. Things seem to be getting better, but do you think that there's a cautionary issue that people have to take into account where if things are getting better, not to get into any sort of a comfort zone where what things do you need to pay attention to now so that they don't come back and bite you down the road because you haven't taken care of those?
Is foremost. We have to have plans for our public buildings, our infrastructure. All that takes money, though, so that's why we have to grow the economic base. We can't burden the homeowners and the current businesses and get all these things done. There are so many things hanging over the head of the city, and we really need to increase the commercial base of the city.
How do you feel about the tax classification issue, can kind of be controversial, and that's probably one of the least popular votes that any city council looks forward to, but what's your take on that?
I would, there was some talk last time about a compromise, a little less of an increase for the businesses,
right,
rather than the full, maybe I think it was 13.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to do that in an effort to promote and give businesses the feeling that we're serious about growing businesses and manufacturing and other industries that might be out there that are looking around for spots in the city.
So you're talking about making a concerted effort to recruit and provide some sort of beneficial factors because you think on the backside, the benefit will be there for the entire community?
Right, right.
That's
And
great.
I mean, a lot of work has been done in that area already. I know, but we just need to push forward.
That's excellent. Melinda Barrett, making your first run for Haverhill City Council. We appreciate you being here this evening, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment.
That was a little